Alright, so we're going to do a elbow hyperextension taping on Serena, and so what I need her to do is to either be standing or sitting. It's kind of up to the athlete. If they're taller, it's easier to have them seated. And then I'm going to have her place her left arm in like a 90-degree angle, palm up, just like that. Yep. And I'm going to use some elasticon or elastic tape to do her anchors here. So it doesn't have to be super tight, but when I do it, I want to make sure that she is flexing actually. So Serena, you can be flexing your bicep there. So huge. So huge. Okay. And you use some tape, normal athletic tape, to secure that, since this will most definitely pop off during play. Half strips, still contracting her bicep muscle. Can do one more around on the back side too. You don't want to go all the way around because then she won't be able to move her muscle that well. You do the same thing on the forearm, halfway down the forearm, and you're going to make sure that you're contracting your forearm when I do this too. Half strips, that go halfway around the forearm, so that you don't restrict any movement. You for sure need to, you can always do a few more. Alright, now that we've got the anchors ready to go, we're going to cut our elasticon X strips to prevent the hyperextension. We're going to get a nice stretch on here, go from the outside of her bicep, upper arm, to go all the way. We're going to fix this angle a little bit. There we go. All the way, reach all the way down to this anchor. We're going to get a nice stretch on there. There we go. Alright, we're going to take our next one. And you can do multiple of these. So that there's really prevents you into going to hyperextension. And like Greta says, there are 2-inch strips of elasticon, which would make this a little bit easier, but the same job's going to get done. And you can go back over with your secure with athletic tape, half strips. Right, and you do the same thing with this bottom on the forearm, but we're actually out of the elastic tape, so we're not going to. We're going to save that for the game tomorrow. And then at the very end, you would take Power Flex, and you would go distal to proximal, covering up the whole entire thing so you don't have this extra tape hanging out. And then you're just going to make sure that, Serena, can you go into hyperextension?
Nope.
No, it ends right there. And you can always ask them if they want pre-wrap underneath that, but it's not necessary. And then make sure that there's cap refill down here. You can still feel this. It's not too tight. Obviously, we were nice and loose on the anchors. and then close it all up. There's some wrinkles here, but kind of inevitably, so we'll do a 360. Otherwise, no gaps, no wrinkles. That's elbow hyperextension.